After we installed all necessary tools in previous video, we are finally ready to set up our project. My methodology is to first create the whole backend with API endpoints and then move on to the frontend. We are gonna use a very helpful tool which is Spring Boot that will configure the whole project by itself. Let's list the all Spring modules that we are gonna use by now. First and foremost, we will include Spring Web Starter as a scaffolding for our application. This module includes basic classes like component, controllers, etc., also including RESTful controllers. It uses previously installed Tomcat as a server. Next module will be DevTools for auto-refresh extension and tools for testing. JPA module will be used for persisting data to database by Java Persistence API with Hibernate and Spring Data included frameworks. The last module for now will be MySql driver to get access from a code to MySql database. I'm gonna show you how it's supposed to be done in Ultimate Edition, but you can set up your project via Online Spring Project Initializer. Process and checkboxes are pretty much the same. As a group I will type fake programmer, but you can choose whatever the name you want. Then we are setting up Maven project, name and description. In this section we are gonna choose dependencies. Let's choose basic starter pack by now. Later we'll include more by modifying pom.xml file which is used to configure Spring environment by so-called Spring Boot. Spring Boot is a Spring framework management system which is automatically including files and organizing the whole system as I mentioned earlier, so we can just focus on programming business logic. So, as we check in Spring boxes, we choose Spring Web Starter, Spring Boot DevTools, Spring Data JPA, and MySql driver. Now, as our starter dependencies are selected, we can move to next section. Choose project name as you want and create project by clicking Finish button. This is our main class. Everything is on red because we still don't have installed dependencies. To install packages, we must open pom.xml file, which is our project dependencies manager. It contains every dependency that we'll include in our project. We have illegal it symbol in our description, so we have to change it to end. My dependencies are already downloading, but in your case, IntelliJ is supposed to show message to download them. Once downloading is completed, we can try to run our application. Building our application failed because we didn't specify database for our project. To set up database properties, go to Source, Resources and open application.properties file. First, we will disable creating automatically database on each server run. Next, we will specify database URL. Database is located on localhost port 3306/online shop, schema that we will create later on. After that, we set up username and password. At the end, we specify which database we are gonna use. In our case, is MySql database. After we done that, go to MySql Workbench and log into local database instance with login and password that you specify during installation process. Press right mouse button and click Create Schema. Set online shop name and click Apply. Click once again Apply, and by clicking Finish, our schema is ready to go. When you unfold schema, you will see subfolders created during this process. Tables subfolder, for instance. Finally, we can go back and run our application once again. If you check logs, you will see that our server is running on port 8080, which is default port for Spring applications. Let's go to browser and check this URL. Type localhost :8080. Don't worry about this error page. This error means that we don't have any template set up, but our server is properly running.